Hello everyone.
We are from Group 1. We want to explain about financial statement of PT Bukalapak.com at 2022 years and 2023 years.
Oke, jadi sebelum ke poin-poinnya, di sini kita membuat alasan kenapa kita milih PT ini. Number one ada strengths or kekuatan. Ada point number one, strong local brand as one of the pioneers in e-commerce in Indonesia. Bukalapak has strong brand recognition and is well known among consumers. And point number two, focus and smash or UMKM. Bukalapak is highly supportive of small and medium enterprises, providing a platform that helps their business reach a wider market. Oke, di sini juga ada point weakness atau kelemahan. Ya, in here point number one is tenses competition. The Indonesia e-commerce market is highly competitive, with major players like Shopee and Tokopedia dominating the market. Point number two is user experience. Some feature and the overall design of the platform need improvement to offer a better shopping experience for users. Oke, lalu ada point opportunities atau peluang. Point number one is e-commerce growth. The e-commerce market in Indonesia is growing rapidly, providing Bukalapak with opportunities to expand its market reach. Okay, point number two is expansion into financial service. Bukalapak has the potential to expand into the financial sector, offering service like loans and insurance. Oke, di sini ada poin ancaman. That's point number one is Bukalapak is one of the leading e-commerce platform in Indonesia, founded in 2011. It serves as an online marketplace where individuals and business can sell products ranging from electronic to daily essentials.
Hello, my name is Alvira Permatasari. Here I explain balance sheet to financial reports. So, report objective to present the condition of Bukalapak's assets, liabilities and equities on December 31, 2023. Asset summary, this report is divided into two asset categories, namely current asset and non-current asset. Di sini ada dua aset, yaitu aset lancar dan aset tidak lancar. One, current asset. Current asset is cash and cash equivalents is 15 billion 108 billion 264,699 Indonesian rupiah in 2023. Down from is 16 billion 205 6 million 67,299 Indonesian rupiah. And other the current financial asset is 4,283,722 Indonesian rupiah in 2023. Down from is 5,106,707,603 Indonesian rupiah in 2022. So the conclusion, there was a decrease, especially cash and cash equivalents, as well as into the current financial asset. This may be due to a decrease in sales or an increase in expense. Total current asset in 2023 is 20 billion 88 million 708,546 Indonesian rupiah. In 2022, 22 billion 5 million 287,475 Indonesian rupiah. True total non current asset. Yang kedua, aset tidak lancar is total non current asset is 2023 is 6 billion 35 million 996,582 Indonesian rupiah. In 2022 is 5 billion 401 million 117,348 Indonesian rupiah. So the conclusion, non-current asset have a decrease, especially long-term investment and intangible assets.
Hello, I will explain about liabilities and equity. For total short-term liabilities, we can see that in 222 until 223 there was a discourse of 75 million. So it can be concluded that total liabilities in 222 until 223 discussed by 75 million. And also for long-term liabilities discussed from 222 until 220 by 21 million. So we can see the total liabilities in 222 amount to 907 million, and in 223 792 million. So the total liabilities discovered by 115 million. For total equity, we can see that from 222 until 223 it discovered by 1 million. So it can be calculated that total equity and liabilities in 222 until 223 discovered by 1 billion.
Definition income statement. The income statement is a financial report that shows a company performance over a specific period, usually for a month, quarter, or year. It details how much money the company earned, what it spent, and whether it made a profit or loss. The income statement for the years ended December 31, 2023 and 2022 provides detailed overview of the financial performance of the company. Below is comprehensive explanation of each component. Net revenue in 2023, 4,438,268,980. In 2022, 3,618,366,163. There is an increase in net revenue of $890,902,177, 20.7% from 2022 to 2023. This indicates that the company has successfully increased its sales service revenues during the period. Cost of revenue in 2023, 3,387,566,834. In 2022, 2,559,910,2005. The cost revenue increased by $82,706,283, 30.4%. This rise might be attributed to higher production costs or increased sales volume. Selling and marketing expense in 2023, 518,432,038. In 2022, 1,027,865,077. There was a significant decrease in selling and marketing expense, 519,433,029, 49.7%. This suggests improved efficiency in marketing strategies and reduced promotional costs. General and administrative expense in 2023, 1,348,631,356. In 2022, 2,544,545,797. General and administrative expense also decreased by $1,095,014,041 or 47%. This reduction indicates effective cost management and possibly a leaner operational structure. Other operating income expense net 2023 82,706,283. In 2022, 338,462,300. This component include other income or expense not included in the main categories above, such as gains or loss from other investment. Next, operation income loss in 2023, 2,128,989,069. In 2022, 1,759,592,586. Company report an operating loss in 2023 compared to an operating profit in 2022. This reflects that despite higher revenue and lower expense in some areas, the overall operational cost led to a significant loss. Financial income in 2023, 822,543,380. In 2022, 541,043,541. Finance income increased by 281,498,059 or 52%, indicating better returns from investment or other financial activities. Financial expense in 2023, 5,496,698. In 2022, 7,078,053. Finance expense decreased by $1,591,315 or 23%, suggesting improved management of financial costs or lower interest payments. Share in loss of associates in 2023, 30,877,327. In 2022, 23,349,126. The share of loss from associates increased by $7,528,201 or 30%, indicating that investments in associate companies performed poorly. Next, loss before tax. In 2023, 1,342,819,714. In 2022, 2,270,208,948. The loss before tax reflects a significant decline from profit to loss year over year. This indicates a challenging year for the company, despite some areas of revenue growth. Final tax expense in 2023, 108,786. In 2022, 3,273,098. The final tax expense is minimal in comparison to the previous year. The details include in 2020 income tax expense in 2023, in 34,615,000, income tax expense in 2023, in 2022, income tax expense in 2023, 342,000, income tax expense in 2023. The income tax expense in 2020 as a result of lower income tax expense in 2022 loss. Income tax expense in 2023. In 2023, income tax expense in 2027 million. Income tax expense in 2023 709. Income tax expense in 2022 1,977 income tax expense in 2023 593. Income tax expense in 2023. The net income tax for the year in 2023. Income tax expense in 2023 compared to income tax expense in 2023 year. This indicates a challenging financial environment for the company. Income tax expense operational challenge that need to be addressed. Income tax expense in 2023. Conclusion: overall, well, there was an income tax expense in 2020 and some reductions in income tax expense in 2020 selling and administrative income tax expense in 2023 compared to income tax expense in 2023. The company faced income tax expense in 2020 leading to a net loss for income tax expense in 2020. The situation highlights the need for strategic income tax expense in 2023. In income tax management and operational efficient return to income tax expense in 2022 period. Income tax expense.
Okay, in here ada basic loss earning for share attributable to equity holders of the foreign entity. Yeah, in 2022 is positive, but 23 is negative. Atau di sini laba rugi bersih per saham dasar yang didistribusikan kepada pemegang saham entitas induk yaitu pada tahun 2023 itu adalah negatif. Oke, ini ada dilutive loss earning per share attributable to equity holders of the parents. Ya, sama pada tahun 2023 itu negatif, but pada tahun 2022 positif. 90. Oke, kita langsung ke kesimpulannya everyone. So in here profit and loss statement, the company experienced a significant change in its performance between 2022 and 2023. In 2022, the company reported a comprehensive income atau profit, whereas 23 the company is loss. Yeah, this difference reflects change in the company financial condition. Jadi pada tahun 2022 itu positif atau perusahaan tersebut mendapatkan profit, tapi pada tahun 2023 perusahaan tersebut mendapatkan kerugian. Bukan mendapatkan ya, tapi perusahaan tersebut rugi atau negatif.
So I want to explain about financial statement of pt-bukalapak.com, and the part what I want to explain is the consolidated statement of change in equity. What I want to explain is the total equity at the year 2021, 2022, and 2023. The total equity in 2021 is 23 billion, and the total in 2022 is 26 billion, and the total in 2023 is 25 billion. So the total equity between the 3 years is ups and down with the same top cost. The top cost between 2021 and 2022 and 2022 to 2023 is total comprehensive income loss for the year. Total comprehensive income loss for the year. But in 2022 to 2021 is around 1.9 billion, and 2022 to 2023 is 1.3 billion. So the equity of PT Bukalapak.com is ups and down, and the point is the last document of PT Bukalapak financial statement at the change in equity is down.